Okay. Hey guys, David Holder from Raised Hunting, and we want to talk to you because I get a lot of questions. As a matter of fact, I had someone come in the other day and was like, I'm going hunting and I want to buy a decoy, but I don't know which one to buy. I wish it was that easy of an answer. Just go buy a hen and you're good all the time. It's not that simple. And the reason it's not that simple is because, number one, there's a whole menagerie of different types of decoys. You got a strutting tom, there's half strut toms, there's strutting jakes, half strut jakes, there's upright hens, there is feeding hens, there's laying down hens. You name it, there's pretty much, they cover the gamut. So which one or which ones do you need to be sure that you have what you need? And the best situation that I can tell you is, if you can, you want 3 decoys, okay? And the reason that you want 3 decoys is you're gonna want a hen. A hen is gonna work for you at any time of the year. Not very often do I have a hen out by herself, but there is a certain time when I do. And when I do, if I don't have a hen, then I'm out of luck. And that is later in the season. I would tell you that as the season starts, it seems like when the turkeys are completely fresh, we're almost always going with either, and this is what we would call an upright hen. Now this one actually has a replaceable head that has 2 different configurations. You can put this head on there, or you can put this one on there. And it's slightly, just a little bit of a variation, but you'll see her head is more upright. I hope you can see that. All right, so this would be considered an upright hen. This is a hen that is hearing, seeing. What I like about this hen is when I'm in a location where I'm only gonna have a hen out and I wanna make sure that the turkeys can see my decoy, well, an upright hen is gonna be better than, let's say, a feeding hen. So your head is down, so there's not much for them to see. So, but at the same time, I'm not relying a lot on my hens to bring in a tom. And what I mean by that, usually what we are doing is we are using our hens to support whatever male turkey that we have, what we have going on. Okay, so beginning of the season, which turkey do I use? Which decoy do I use? And I'm gonna tell you, I'm running 3. Okay, and here's what it's gonna be. It's going to be a male bird. We'll talk about that more in detail first, or in just a minute. So it's gonna be a male bird, and then it's gonna probably be, for me, feeding hen, and then a laying down hen. Okay, and the laying down hen is simply I'm trying to paint a picture for these turkeys that see my setup. I want them to understand that there is a female turkey. She's laying down on the ground, and behind her is typically either a jake or a strutting tom, one or the other. Whether, if you're gonna use a strutting jake, you can use a half strutting jake. This is like a 3/4 strut jake. You can actually change the head on this one and it's gonna say something a little different. This one actually has a head up, which is kind of a more of a dominant position than it is. And you gotta push pretty hard on these. But then it locks on like that. And you see that gives that turkey's head an upright position. Now, what I will tell you is that you're not gonna change heads in the field. I mean, we just don't do that. What's gonna happen is pick the one that you want and that's what you're gonna go with. But what we're trying to talk about is the scenario that we're trying to tell, or the story we're trying to tell. Let's take, for instance, let's use this tom. So what we'll do a lot of times is we'll take a tom and we're gonna set that tom on a stake, and in our case, we even add some movement. It's legal where we hunt at most of the time. Make sure you check, but we'll put it on like a strutting 360. Tom goes behind the lay down hen, and then off to the side, one way or another, I'll have another hen. And what I'm trying to do is just give that whole situational look that this tom has come in, he's found a couple hens, one is laying down, she's about ready to mate, and he's about to ready to mount her. And so then what'll happen is, hopefully, is the other toms that come in see this whole situation and they're gonna break in between. We can actually predict that way. Not only can we get the turkeys to come more, it seems like, but we can actually get them to stand exactly where we want them. So here's the situation. Early in the season, what do you use? I actually started this season with a jake decoy with the other head. I had this head on there. This head on there. I had a lay down hen and I had a feeding hen. I had 6 different gobblers fly down into the field that I was in the morning, but none of them came to the decoy until about 10 o'clock. So I was just patient and then it worked out. What was going on is Warren was hunting somewhere else and he was using a strutting tom. We had used a strutting tom earlier in the season over in Nebraska and had good luck with it. We have had times when it doesn't work. Okay, so what I said at the very beginning is there's no guarantee on any of this, but if I only own one decoy, then I don't have any choice of changing things. I just have one decoy to go with. If I was only going to have one decoy, I would have a male decoy. I believe the male decoys are what are going to get a better response for you than the females are. However, as we get toward the end of the season, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to start less reliant on my toms, on my jakes, and more reliant on a hen. So at minimum, I want to have 2 decoys. I want to have a male decoy and a female decoy. Okay, and then if I can, I want to have a couple different variations of that so that I can change that scenario.